Why I switched from the board game to the app? Well, to be honest, it's quite simple because a board game is not scalable. And a board game requires, like entertaining skills. If you play the board game, the game leader needs to be entertaining and keep a certain dynamic. And if you don't have this, the board becomes very boring. The board game becomes very boring. And also, you cannot add more content to a board game, right? It's very limited. And of course, we realized that the increase of smartphone ownership is dramatically changing, especially in developing countries. So we can reach anybody, and this is actually the goal we wanted to aim for. The biggest challenge we faced when we tried to start to develop the app, and I completely underestimated that, was to find a game design team that had the skills and the will to listen, right? So it took us 3 attempts to find the right game design team, which was a hard time, believe me. So there were teams that just wanted to make a quiz with an island background, even though I explained them that it must be an adventure world where young people face like situations that are close to reality. They just gave us a quiz, for example. Others developed a leading character in the shape of a bird, which was a complete nonsense. And another team just gave us some like framework, or I don't even remember the name, just some like for a lot of money we got nothing. And this we really underestimated. And until we found our team that we have now, it took us a lot of energy, and we also had to change our concept. So, but now we are there, and we couldn't be more happy with the team. So when COVID came, we really had hard times. All the foundations focused on COVID support, which is great. But for us, it meant we couldn't find any money for the further development of our app. That was a huge challenge. And I think it would have been easy to give up, to be honest. It was really frustrating to always get a no or not even an answer from foundations we contacted. But on the other hand, I realized I have the best team, and we never ever got so far before. And to give up would have meant that we would have had started from scratch again in a year or so, which wouldn't have made sense at all. And also, there wasn't even a thought to give up, because we were like in such a good flow, and we realized we can also do it with a lot less money. There's always, that's what I learned, there's always an opportunity to keep going and to just change the financial plan. It is possible, and that's why I actually never wanted to give up. So my big goal would be that the app in 2025, of course, would be downloadable for any teenager on this planet, with a lot of content, of course, that is entertaining on one side, but also helping young people to stay healthy. And yeah, of course, it would be great if big organizations would further promote and support the app.
Well, how did we meet? I have to think. It's so long ago. 10 years plus. At that time I was still teaching entrepreneurship, if you can teach that, by the way, giving a class about finance at Technopark in Zurich. And there she was. That's where we met for the first time. And she was trying to hide. And of course, not a good idea. So I went straight to her and asked her, why doth she think she's the right person to be successful as an entrepreneur? Well, that was probably not a good moment for Karin, but she gave me an answer. And the answer was yes. I still remember it as it was yesterday. The answer was like, oh, I have the right life skills. Well, we all know we need a bit more than just having the right life skills to be successful as an entrepreneur, and Karin has it. She presented her board game there, and I was really fascinated by this concept, this island concept, and this possibility to make it, kind of have it expandable. More islands, more levels, more languages. It is really also a global problem, so there's a global potential. That was clear for me from day one on. And that's why, we kept in touch, and I supported her all the years. And now I'm even the director of Taboo Breaker Association. So that's pretty cool, yeah. I think Karin has passion that is needed. She has the purpose, she's the right person, and she really, loves to work with children. So she is the right person to do that, yeah. Well, I already answered that. Why am I supporting it? Because I believe it's a global problem with a global potential. Every young person on this planet has questions regarding a healthy sexuality and reproductive life. So, that's clear, immediately clear. And also, the second point, as mentioned, is it is expandable in all dimensions, more levels, more islands, more topics, more islands, and also the language can be included. So it really becomes global, and it's the goal, the vision for the future, of course, to have a global tool to help young people to be healthy, to have a good life. So that's, my motivation is clear. Also, a personal motivation in addition to that is I feel like I had a really good life. I'm still having one, by the way. Yes, I feel I want to give back to the society. I want to give back. And I feel like giving back to young people is probably a good way to do it. Yes. Well, in a few years, by 2025, latest, because I'm not getting younger, I definitely want Loveland to be established globally. I definitely believe it's absolutely critical that Loveland has a sustainable business model. We cannot depend on foundations and grants all the time. At some point, the game must be sustainable in itself, so it can be enhanced, it can be updated, and we can add new languages even. So that's the goal, and hopefully it will become like the gold standard for sexual education on this planet. That would be, of course, a great honor for me at the end of the day.